My taste buds don't even know what to do with that. It smells a little bit like paint. That's not a good sign. My brain's trying to kind of calculate what I'm even tasting. Why does that feel gimmicky? Good morning on this warm and breezy Sunday morning where it's currently 86 degrees at 9 a.m. And there's Bailey somewhere back there. So it's been a minute since I posted a vlog. I was gonna film one yesterday, but I woke up, my stomach was kind of gurgling, not feeling so great. And the thought of tasting different foods in that state, I didn't think it was a good idea. So I feel better today, so I'm looking forward to doing some taste tests this afternoon. And nothing really crazy on today's menu. I don't really have any like main course. It's more like a bunch of side dishes with no main course. Kind of like, remember Sweet Tomatoes? Sweet Tomatoes was kind of a cool restaurant. It was like a salad bar, but I never really felt like there was a main course there. Like you have all the salad you want, but you ain't gonna get a steak. But it should be fun anyways. We're already into June, man. I was thinking I should probably make some travel plans this summer, even just to get out of town for a couple days. But I can tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be flying. I'm kind of over flying. I know I've talked about this before, but it's such an unpleasant experience that it makes looking forward to travel I don't look forward to anymore. So if I do go out somewhere this summer, it'll probably be like Huntington Beach for a couple days. Now I know I'm in the minority here, so don't bash me too much. And I don't go online or rage about it. But I'm in the kind of anti-recliner camp. I'm not for reclining. I understand that if you buy a ticket that includes a reclining seat, you have a right to recline, and I'll never deny anybody that right. But I just don't like the idea in the first place. Whenever I fly, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I don't recline. Number one, it feels rude. And second of all, you don't really get that. I mean, you get like 3 inches. Is it really that much of a difference? I'd rather feel not rude and save the 3 inches. I know I'm in the minority, don't hate. If you recline in front of me, I won't say a word. But you remember, like 20 years ago, they had a product called the Knee Defender, which I think is still around. I think they sell it, but none of the airlines will let you use it, so I don't know what the point is. Knee Defender was this little gadget you would stick in between the seats in front of you so they couldn't recline. And people were getting in fights about it. People fight about reclining nowadays. That's what I'm saying. Just get rid of the reclining or make them all recline. What if when the flight takes off, all the seats go back at the same time? Maybe that would solve things too. The Knee Defender was a funny one because it was one that I can't think of a product that's caused more fights than Knee Defender. I'm sure there's more out there, but that's the first one I'm popping to mind, at least travel related. Imagine putting out a product. Yes, our product is going to cause people to get in fights on airplanes. That sounds like a great business model, doesn't it? Anyways, I'm a little tired this morning, so I'm kind of getting started later. I watched the Golden Knights game in the Stanley Cup final. I wasn't planning on settling in for like a 4.5 hour game that went to 2 overtimes. I mean, I guess it was exciting because they won, but seeing your team blow a 4-0 lead in the final period is kind of frustrating. So that game kind of wore me out after 4.5 hours of watching it. But today, I don't plan on being worn out. I plan on doing a lot of taste tests. I plan on enjoying this nice warm day and rejoicing that my stomach isn't making all kinds of unpleasant gurgling sounds like it was yesterday. So with that, I think I'm gonna move on with my day, and I'm not sure what I'm doing before my taste test, if anything. So whatever I'm doing, it's coming up next right now. It's time for another freaking 2 food review. On today's main stage, we have a snack food segment. We're very Cheez-It heavy today with a little bit of Mother's dessert. Now, Cheez-Its are on my Mount Rushmore of snack foods, up there with Doritos, maybe a couple others. So when there's a new Cheez-It flavor out there, I want to try it. The newest one of the bunch here is this, which is the Cheesy Garlic Bread Cheez-It. This came out in April of 26. It's a limited edition flavor. I believe right now it's only sold at Albertsons and related stores. They say it has real Romano and Parmesan cheeses, garlic powder, and oregano. What's weird is I couldn't find hardly any opinions on this online. Not even on Reddit, where you find opinions on everything. I also want to try the Cheez-It Crunch, which has been out for a few months, but I haven't tried it yet. And we'll wrap things up with some new Mother's cookies with nerds. But let's jump to the first taste test here. Cheez-It Cheesy Garlic Bread. This is limited time only. I'm looking for any glimpse of information that I can find here, and I don't see it. Usually they try to at least convince you what it tastes like, but they're not even doing that anymore, I guess. Well, the smell of Parmesan cheese wafted out of here when I opened it up, which is a good sign. Here we go, first taste. That's not a good sign. You don't want it? Wow. Bolt didn't want it, but I'm trying it again. You know what? I think they nailed this one. This one tastes kind of like garlic bread. I was afraid the garlic was going to be too heavy, but it's not. They have a nice blend of the cheeses and the garlic flavor. The amounts are kind of what you expect from garlic breads. I think they did a good job with this one. Accuracy-wise, I think they completely nailed it, so that's good. How does it rank with among my favorite Cheez-Its out there? It's up there. I wouldn't say it's a top tier. It's probably B tier. Certainly edible. Certainly something I'm going to eat. I wouldn't say it's in the top 3, but it's certainly in the top half of all the Cheez-It flavors I've tried. If you see these, grab them and give them a shot. Otherwise, you're not really missing out on the best Cheez-It ever, but a pretty good one. All right, next up, I've been wanting to try these. They came out like 6 months ago. I'd never tried them out, but I keep getting requests for these, so I'm gonna try them right now. That is the Cheez-It Crunch. They have 3 flavors, and I have all 3 here. These were $3.79 AM/PM. This bigger bag was $3 at Vons. Hopefully I like them. And speaking of, I've got some notes from Reddit, and Reddit is not too nice to these. But apparently these have a 3D puff texture. They say it's baked and not fried. It's described as a window pane design, which that kind of does have. 3 flavors here. Kickin' Nacho Cheese, which is the classic cheddar layer with nacho spice. Zesty Jalapeno Cheddar, which combines standard Cheez-It flavor with spicy heat. And Sharp White Cheddar. They say it's a complex, buttery, sharp white cheddar flavor. But now, unfortunately, I went on Reddit and looked in one of the subreddits there about it. Here's some of the opinions that I saw there. Someone said it has a texture of a crunchy Cheeto, which I can find out. But after that, I saw some pretty bad comments. Disgusting. They stink. They're foul. Chemical tasting. Not a fan. My 12-year-old started crying. Missed the mark and going in the trash. It was almost universal on that one subreddit how bad these were. Now, but I'm a fan of Cheez-Its. How could they be that bad? I mean, they're always bringing their A game, or at least the B game. You're trying to tell me they're bringing their F game? I don't know about that. So I'm gonna start with the basic here, the Kickin' Nacho Cheese. They say it has max crunch and flavor. Nothing stands out about it. It certainly doesn't look like a Cheez-It though. Has kind of the generic nacho cheese snack food smell to it. Here we go. It does have the texture of a crunchy Cheeto, I'll give them that. Right in the middle, there was a flavor that I didn't really like. It kind of, I'm not sure. I gotta analyze this a little bit further. It's like, I think what that flavor is going for is the kickin' cheese flavor. But sometimes it kicks it a little bit too far down the road. Now, it does have almost a chemical flavor to it. If you think about it a certain way. It's not, my brain's trying to kind of calculate what I'm even tasting. I don't know. I'm not sure I like that cheddar flavor. Strong kind of fake flavor. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one. I'm gonna have to come back to this later. I'm not real convinced. My taste buds don't even know what to do with that. So let's keep going. I'm gonna go for the Zesty Jalapeno Cheddar. Look at these guys. Come on, guys. And here's this one. Looks the same as the other one. I got high hopes for this one. Here we go. I get the heat. That same strange flavor is kind of in the background though. The heat's not bad. I like the heat. I'm not sure I really get cheddar or jalapeno. I just get heat and that weird flavor in there. I don't know. It's not terrible, but it's not what I expected. I would never guess this was a jalapeno. I would have guessed it's just spicy cheddar because I get the spice, but I don't get the jalapeno. Maybe jalapeno, maybe. Not quite accurate though. Let's move on to the big bag here, the Sharp White Cheddar. Once again, who knows? The bags all say cheesy baked snacks. Smells a little bit like paint, which I don't think you want to smell that. You don't want to open up a bag of chips and say, boy, that smells like when I painted my living room. I don't know. Here we go. Tastes better than it smells, but that's setting the bar pretty low. All these are just a little bit strange tasting, like they're just not what I expected. There's this kind of underlying fake taste that just I don't necessarily like. They're not terrible. I can probably eat all these. Let me go down the line. Sharp White Cheddar first. I'm not even sure I would guess that's white cheddar. Kickin' nacho cheese next. Kind of bland, honestly. It definitely isn't kicking. It's not kicking at all. Jalapeno. I don't know how something can be bland and spicy at the same time, but they managed to achieve that with this. You know, I'm a big Cheez-It fan. I'm a little disappointed in all these. They kind of lack flavor, and the flavor they do have it seems kind of weird. I like the texture. That crunchiness is nice, but they don't taste like Cheez-Its. The flavor just seems off, like the profiles don't match what they're supposed to be. I'm glad I tried them. I'll finish all these bags, but I'm sure I won't buy them again. And with that, we have one more item on the menu here, and that is the brand new Mother's Cookies with Nerds. This is a limited edition flavor. They say it's exclusive to Walmart. Instead of sprinkles, they used crunchy rainbow nerds. They say sweet meets tangy, and it has circus animal and nerd character shapes. And there's 2 different colored cookies, red and blue frosted. Now these just came out, just recently, so these are pretty new. All right, well, they look pretty good. You'll have to excuse me if I don't understand what the shapes mean or what they are, or if that's even all of them, but that's what I'm seeing. All right, I'm gonna try one of each. I don't think there's a difference in flavor. I think it's just a red and a blue. Blue first. That is kind of sweet and tangy. I kind of like that. I've had my share of Mother's cookies over the years, and this definitely has a different vibe to it. I gotta say, that's pretty good. Those nerds add a little bit of extra, just a little bit of extra something there. There's a certain tang to these that normal Mother's cookies do not have. I kind of like them. It seems like this one actually elevated normal Mother's cookies just a little bit. Take a look inside of them. They both have a red interior, so the color is simply the coating alone. The inside is the same cookie. All right, unlike the Cheez-It Crunch, which I feel like they kind of took the normal Cheez-It and degraded it to a point where I didn't like that much. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I like these better than regular Mother's cookies. Those nerds add a tanginess that is just quite nice. For those of us who are old and have degraded taste buds, sometimes we need a little bit of extra, and if you're an old person wanting to eat some Mother's cookies, this is the choice for you, because these are pretty good. All right, well, this segment is over, but the taste tests continue because I need to wash this down with something. How about a new drink from Starbucks right now? All right, it's time to wash things down with the quite lovely looking butterfly drink from Starbucks. It's a very attractive drink. If drinks can be attractive, I would say that's pretty attractive. It has this purplish blue that fades all the way down to an orange at the bottom. And this grande cost me $7. It's gonna be hard to justify that cost, but let me see. Here's my notes on this delicious looking drink. Now it comes standard, I believe, with coconut milk, but you can also do water or lemonade. I left it standard. The website says it's passion fruit and guava, but when I did a search for it, the Google result of the website said pineapple and guava, so who knows? It's one of those two. But they say it sits on a bed of mango pineapple popping pearls. I guess that's where the pineapple comes from. And the butterfly topping is butterfly pea flower infusion, which gives it the purple blue color. There's 3 caffeine options. I didn't even get asked. I don't even know what my caffeine option is here. They give you this nice gigantic straw here. So let's give it a shot. Do I need this straw? I guess I do for the pearls in the bottom. Now I was in the Starbucks subreddit, and some of their comments weren't that great. People are saying they blew it, it wasn't that great, whatever. I don't care what people on Reddit say. I'm interested in what they say, but I don't care at the same time. It's only a matter of what I think in my universe. And in my universe, I haven't tried it yet. Do I mix it? Do I mix it? Because if I just drink it now, I'm just gonna get the bottom. Or do I move the straw slowly from the top to the bottom as I'm sipping? I think I'll do that, because I don't even want to mix it. Look, it looks so nice. I'm gonna start drinking from the top and push the straw down the bottom. All right, the top layer is flavorless. The top layer has almost no flavor, and as you get down to the bottom, it's a lot more flavor. I gotta mix it up. I'm mixing it. I don't care if it looks nice. You can't have a bland top layer and a flavorful bottom layer. I gotta mix it up. Is that sacrilege? I don't even care. I don't care. That's what I'm doing. Got some balls in my mouth, so to speak. The popping balls taste, is that what they call them? They call them Papa balls? Popping pearls. Is that what they call them? Who knows? Anyways, those are pretty good. There's like this strong mango flavor to them. That's probably the most flavor in the drink. Let me try the rest of it without those pearls. It's funny, without those, honestly, it's a little bit on the bland side. It's a little bit blandish. Add the pearls, it takes it up a notch. I'd almost rather just drink the pearls and not the rest of it. The rest of it's a bit bland. You know, my second grade teacher's name was Miss Bland. And, sometimes the name fits, and in her case, the name kind of fit. I think Miss Bland would like the top layer of this because it's pretty bland. But when you get everything in one flavor, it's pretty good. Would I pay $7 for this again? Absolutely not. $7 for a grande. That's rough, man. It's cool to try, but it feels very gimmicky. Why does that feel gimmicky? Yeah, the drink itself, without those popping pearls, it's kind of disappointing. A little bit disappointing. I'm sorry, Starbucks. What am I apologizing to you for? You got too much money as it is. If I had to rank this on a scale of 1 to 10, which I don't usually do, I'd probably give it around 4.5. I'll give it 4.5, just below the middle mark. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's mostly flavorless, other than the pearls. So, and it's overpriced. I'm glad I tried it, but I won't try it again. Like all this skin from those pearls in my teeth. I've got butterfly foreskin in my teeth, so to speak. Earlier today I was reading that McDonald's is going to try to bring back the AI drive-thru again. Why? It was such a disaster the last time. Remember the last time they tried using the AI drive-thru? It was like some insane amount of like sweet teas it kept adding to the order and wouldn't take them off. It wanted to add bacon to the ice cream. It was just like complete, it didn't understand anything. There was like no logic whatsoever. Now, supposedly that was IBM. They're going with Google this time, hoping it's going to work better. Even if it works, you know, they've already started phasing out the self-serve drinks, which is not very customer friendly. So not only do you have to flag down some hiding employee in the back to get a refill, but now you're not even going to talk to someone in person to make your order. And they have the kiosk too. It's like, this is the company that their motto used to be something like, we love to see you smile. Now they didn't want to see you. They didn't want anything to do with you. They want to hide their employees in the back and you can just toss off. Not that McDonald's cares what I have to say, because they're still making money hand over fist. You would think they would care about customer experience. They say they do, but their actions say otherwise, in my opinion. And Ray Kroc, you weren't the founder. Watch the movie. He wasn't the founder, you thief. That's my McDonald's rant. And now on with the rest of the day. Bolt is actually a surprisingly high percentage of Chihuahua, which maybe explain why he likes basking out in the sun and the blazing heat like he does. Until now. Came down to the park to see if anything's going on down here. Nothing's going on down here. It's a beautiful day, it's just too hot, which is one of the disadvantages of living out in the desert. You know, summertime, parks are empty because, you know, it's not that comfortable out here. It's like 106 right now. But I stopped at the gas station on the way here to get my drink. Drinking Diet Coke out of a Pepsi cup. Does that offend people? Hopefully not. I used to work with a guy once who's such a Pepsi fanatic, and he was so anti-Coke that he said two things. One thing he said was the greatest day of his life was when Coke announced New Coke because he thought Pepsi had won. And the other thing is, one time we went to a restaurant, they served him Pepsi, but it was in a Coke glass. And he was such a Pepsi fanatic that he turned the Coke logo away from himself so he didn't have to see it. I'm like, really? You're that threatened by the Coke logo? Get out of here. But anyway, speaking of gas stations and McDonald's earlier, I'm gonna make a prediction. And by the way, I'm terrible making predictions. Usually they're wrong when I make them, but I'll make one anyways. Because it's already a trend that's starting to happen. You know, fast food's getting more and more expensive. Like I went to Panda the other day, it was like 40 bucks. Fat Burger, over 40 bucks. You know, some of these places are ridiculous. So I think as fast food starts to head up the food chain a little bit, you're gonna start having more of a rise in gas station food. I think, you know, people are gonna start looking at gas station food as a first line of defense. Fast food will be almost like a luxury. I mean, you already have places like Buc-ee's and Casey's. I heard Casey's pizza is really good. We don't have those out here. I've had 7-Eleven pizza. 7-Eleven pizza is actually not bad. They cook it right there for you. Let's see if my prediction is right. In the next few years, I'm thinking there's going to be a large surge in the prominence of gas station food. And I'll probably be wrong, but it makes sense, right? Maybe not. Now the wind's picking up. It's like a hot wind, like a hairdryer. No people watching for me today, so I guess I'm just going to head home, maybe feed the dogs, eat some dinner, and then call it a day. Well, that's about it for this day, and that was enough for me. It's funny, part of the year when I sit out here and film my conclusion, it's pitch black. Right now it's like 7:30 p.m. and it's still bright outside. You gotta love it. Gotta love this time of year. But I was looking over my results for this past week, and I had the short edit of the UV bracelet I recently did, and that's kind of doing well everywhere. It's funny because there really wasn't a lot of interest in that product to begin with. So yeah, you never really know online what's gonna do well and what won't do well. So you kind of have to just keep throwing stuff out there, and once in a while something will stick. And not just for short form content online, but in life in general. Sometimes you gotta throw yourself out there and see what happens. That's kind of what happened to me on YouTube. I never planned to be a YouTuber. It just kind of happened. I threw it out there and I'm glad I did. So are there things in your life that you can do to just throw it out there and take a chance? What's the worst that can happen? You fail miserably and you're laughing stock of the internet? That won't happen. And guess what? Even if it does, people forget. People have short-term memories nowadays. I was in the store earlier thinking of something really embarrassing that happened to me many years ago, and guess what? I'm sure nobody remembers that happened. So sometimes you gotta take a chance. Even if there's just a moment of embarrassment, if you fail, it's still worth taking a chance. Inevitably, someone's gonna take a chance and blame me because they embarrassed themselves. Well, that's about it for this day. I hope you have a great day whenever you're watching this. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.